SelectQuote medical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hold on to your butt.
After damning politicians uphill and down Dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Thank you, Dr. Pepper, and thank you, Chancellor, or Dr. Paper, and thank you, Chancellor.
I got hairy legs. I got worms.
In politics, man must learn to rise above principle.
Fat broads and horse-faced lesbians.
Silly woman.
If you get a cough, please.
Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
What the hell are we doing here?
We are behaving the way a superpower ought to behave.
Well, our behavior has produced some crappy results.
Hey, miss, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can.
I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome to News and Views in the afternoon. Or if you're watching on the live stream, Joey Clark Live. Now, folks, if I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population. But I wouldn't be happy until I'd seize the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good, and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting, so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg, and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want until I'd killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what do you bet I could get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich? I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on the TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. That was Paul Harvey. Good day, folks. Paul Harvey, all the way back in 1965. You've heard the classic clip. We've played it on these airwaves many a time. But can you imagine if you had to add to that little monologue, that little speech done by Paul Harvey all those years ago? Because now it's not just the TV. It's now the little black screen that lights up in all sorts of fantastical colors. Locales, images, horrifying and sublime. If I were the devil, I'd create the internet. You know, the drugs have gotten stronger. The sex and the sexual revolutions become much weirder. In fact, the fight for liberation continues, even though you think folks might have already have been liberated. But it's kind of hard to be liberated from yourself. When you look at the news headlines in the morning, like I do, because it's my job, it's hard to see the finger of God in anything. To me, the mesmerizing media, or now it's more frenzied media, fragmented, forlorn. It continues to tear us apart. Our fight over power continues to tear us apart. As we now have, imagine Paul Harvey bringing up that they're building a digital God with your help. One that we hope will liberate us, again, from ourselves and take from us all the troubles of living. So as we get into the news today, just remember that this is much more the whispers of the serpent than it is from something up above. Putin critic Alexei Navalny dies in prison. Seattle students taught it is white supremacy to study reading and writing. The Office of Inspector General for Health and Human Services in the federal government said Biden and his administration didn't vet adults housing illegal immigrant children. Of course, the spectacle of Fannie, however you say the woman's name, Willis, continues today in Atlanta. The suspects in the Kansas City shooting were juveniles. Juveniles who apparently had some gang-related beef. Border crossings are surging as formerly pro-sanctuary city mayors like Eric Adams of New York says they're out of room and soon people will be sleeping in the streets. As the U.S. and the UN hand out cash in envelopes to hasten the border crisis they claimed they were trying to solve, but, well, I guess it's an election year. So we had to create the problem, break the leg. After the election, we'll give you a crutch, we'll solve the issue. Inflation rose more than expected in January. In fact, wholesale prices came out today. Your dollar is getting thinner and thinner by the day, despite all the fanfare. Oh, yeah, and in Alabama, the State House of Representatives in Alabama, they passed in a stunning fashion, a very strong fashion, a comprehensive gambling bill. Gambling legislation moves swiftly through the House. Now it's up to Alabama senators on what they want to do with this massive potential change to the state. Yet despite all the whispers of the serpent, despite all the sound and fury, worry and woe, it seems to be bedeviling this world each and every day when you wake up to read the headlines. There are moments where you're like, look at what we can do. For instance, a rocket to the moon launched yesterday with help from, well, some of Alabama's own. There are people trying to build the future as Bitcoin continues to gain in value, as more and more folks who made big bets on the new technology are now sitting pretty after being told, well, you're investing in tulips. You have people on the cutting edge trying to do the best they can to make sure this nation is secure in something as simple in concept, but as complex as anything on earth to assemble, of microchips, nanometers small. As much as it feels like everything is taken down by the decadence, the decay, the confusion, as truth itself seems to be melting in front of our eyes, and as we continue to build that new digital god that all these AI tools are hastening, don't forget that if you take the time, if you take a breath, and you look on your life, and you take the decay and decadence, all the mistakes you made, you put them to the side. Think about what you're grateful for. The only way we start to beat these trends, whether it's the bizarre or their sins as old as man himself, you have a little bit of gratitude to remedy that resentment building up with you, that frustration built up in you. You might start to see the finger of God. I say might because I'm not sitting here in judgment of anyone. Not judgment in that way, at least. But these are troubled times, folks. And if we're going to reverse what the devil has wrought, so to speak, it's going to start with each of you in the quiet stillness of your own mind to remember what's valuable, what's beautiful, and why you do what you do every day. You know, I guess it was now 2 weeks ago, we interviewed Renee Helton, former MPD officer. Like I said, the day after, I think she told us some true things, but I also don't think we got the whole story. That's not my point of bringing her up. As we're getting ready for the interview, and Mickey McDermott sitting down in front of me, we're cutting up together. Renee and her fiance are sitting down. Renee asked me, how long have you been doing this? I'm like, you forget, 10, 12, 13 years? Let's call it unlucky number 13. And then she asked me, do you enjoy what you do? And that simple question, courteous question, some might even call it throwaways, for some reason that day, before we conducted that interview, hit me right between the eyes. I can't remember exactly what I said to Renee Helton. Something to the effect of, yeah, sure, but there are plenty of days where it also feels like work. Can't believe they, pay me to sit on my butt and talk. But what I wanted to say is that, no, I don't enjoy having to bring somebody on to talk about somebody's potential infidelity. No, I do not enjoy reporting on the decline of a once great nation. I do not enjoy reporting on death after death in all these wars. I do not enjoy reporting on the breakup of families, the splits between churches. I don't enjoy reporting on our supposed public servants who continue to rip off everyday people while still calling it a service. I don't enjoy that. But I do enjoy the job. Because I would hope, even though it's a small job, even though it is a humble perch, as I was saying to Senator Britt the other day, if I can make one person hold their head up and think, maybe reflect and change their mind, it's worth it. And aside from monologues and deep thoughts or waxing poetic on much anything, if I can make one person laugh who's having a crap day, if I can make one person feel who's been numb for years, then yeah, I'll do it. I enjoy that. So let's hit a break. We'll get into the news. I'll cast aside my somber mood. But I'm glad I'm not the devil. And I'm glad you're not too. Let's stop giving in to him. More news and views when we come back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your market report. How is the real estate market and what does 2024 hold for us? Last year, over 4,700 homes sold and closed through realtors, and the average sales price was $245,000. People who have owned real estate over the last 2 to 3 years have profited by keeping their homes and now have more equity in their home than ever. The people who listed their homes with realtors were able to find ready and willing buyers that paid at or above their asking price. Mortgage companies and local builders have found ways to overcome higher rates with attractive programs that allow for low-cost refinancing when the rate drops. Some of the local mortgage companies have new programs that help buyers with low down payment programs, such as one program with 1% down or even less. If you haven't bought a house yet, now is the time. For all the information, call Bo Goodson at 221-2883 or the Goodson Group at 551-0225.
I'm with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. Dot, you have a big event coming up.
February is the biggest month we've had in years because this is our 30th anniversary, and it will be February the 24th from 9 until 6.
Anything special going to happen that day?
There will be surprises, giveaways. You can use gift certificates on that beautiful mahogany furniture that we've got, and we've got gorgeous mahogany. Some of it is signed pieces, as a matter of fact. We've got the Tiffany style lamps. We've got chests and beds and tables and chairs. And it's just so much. I can't really get across to you how much we've got.
All right, the date and hours for your big anniversary sale?
February 24th, 9 until 6.
And give us those regular hours of operation.
Monday through Friday is 10 until 6. Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I am your host, Joey Clark. And we got some phone calls rolling in here. 272-9228. Let's go to, I think this is a new name for this gentleman I know very well. Goose, Gray Goose. Come in, Gray Goose.
Over.
Over, what does that mean?
You copy?
Oh, yeah, copy. Over.
Okay. Hey, I thought yesterday the best television ever in politics was when Donald Trump did that primary debate with Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio. That anytime I'm depressed or anything, I play that, and it just makes me laugh and makes me smile, makes me feel good inside. Tells you a little bit about Grey Goose here. But yesterday, Fanny, you're my hero. Fanny she's unbelievable for television. I think she's going to have her own reality show. Okay, first of all, she played the race card yesterday.
Oh yeah.
She played the sexist card yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And she played the victim card yesterday.
Of course.
What a full house, Fanny.
And she pulled a Clinton, Bill Clinton half the time. What is the definition of is? What is it? Like she kept doing that with so many of the questions asked of her.
Oh, and then she even threw Trump in there without mentioning his name. She says, I'm here to protect democracy. All these lies and everything y'all are spreading about. And I said, she is great. And let me tell you one thing. She needs to be, whoever her publicist is, okay, do me a favor, Fanny. If you're going to turn your rear end towards the television on my lovely 85-inch, LG TV, please have some no-line underwear panties on, okay? I'm tired of seeing your granny penny outline.
Well, and there's all these folks who said she put her dress on backwards, like folks found the dress, and then like the back and forth is just, it's absurd. For instance, MSNBC got off script in real time when they were covering it live. They're like, oh, she really screwed up. And then by this morning, they, I guess, corrected everybody's program.
Corrected it real quick?
Yeah. Right. No, she did great. She did wonderfully. But she's not testifying again today. That says something.
She's not today?
Yeah, she is not going to take the stand today.
Wait a minute. She wasn't supposed to yesterday either, right?
Well, but she did. That's what we're talking about. And then the moment where Nathan Wade is asked, have you ever gone to a cabin with Miss Willis? And he ponders it for like 15 seconds.
He went Joe Biden, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went Joe Biden for about a minute.
No, he was really trying to think through. Well, is a bodega a cabin? Is it a cabana?
Is the back seat of my Jaguar. Is that considered a cabin?
Well, and it's so absurd. It's just, what a ridiculous case. And here's what could happen out of this. Even if Fannie Willis is removed from the case, it would be up to, I can't remember their name, a particular group that runs prosecutors in the state of Georgia. They could replace her and continue the case against Trump. But this might make the whole thing fall through.
I tell you one thing. She is a work. You had to bring up her daddy. Oh, God.
Well, and the only thing I've seen from today is her father took the stand, and he was talking about how, I've traveled the world, and I knew COVID was coming before they reported in 2020. I knew in 2019, and the lawyer's like, well, thanks, man, but can we talk about something?
About the case? Right. Hey, she strutted. I don't know who strutted better in. Was it Taylor Swift when she came to the Emmys late, strutted into her front row chair table? Or did my girl Fanny, man, she strutted in, didn't she?
Maybe we should have a strut off.
Oh, I think she should be on the USS Reagan and have a couple of those transgender soldiers and have a runway walk off.
Right. No, I think my prediction is Willis will end up in Congress.
Oh my God. It scares me. And another thing was, who's that guy's name? What's his name again? Mr. Cash?
Oh, Nathan Wade, I believe.
Yeah, I think the IRS needs to talk to him. He only takes cash. No receipts. Sounds fishy there. And another thing is, he must like granny panties, I guess. He likes it because, I'm not making any fun of her, But I had to keep on seeing it when she walked up and then walked back, and I was like, my God.
You were seeing a line? Well, you got to divert your eyes. Don't be a male pig, the male gaze.
I'm a male. Wait a minute, I'm not a male pig. I got 85 inches of loving called a LGT flat screen.
All
okay?
right. No, and I'm in that same world. So, yeah, you got to be careful with what you watch.
I tell you one thing yesterday. I think she blew up her testimony yesterday.
Well, and
again,
this...
She's probably done that several times before in her life.
Well, and this was an amazing moment to kind of reflect on. I think Fani or Fannie Willis, however you say her name, was pretty.
Now they're trying to make
they keep saying it Fani on the news, so maybe that's how it's whatever.
God.
But she was probably, you can tell she's clever enough to where she rose in Atlanta and rose within the legal community there.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there are a lot of folks like that all over this dear nation. But there is something about when that Eye of Sauron, when the national media and the national scene pays attention to you, it will chew you up and spit you out. And I think that's exactly what's going on here.
They said originally her lawyer told her not to go on the stand, but she went up there herself and shocked everybody.
Right.
It shocked the prosecutor. He's like, what the heck? I ain't got my questions ready. I'm going to have to go off the cuff here.
Yeah, did Mr. Wade ever stay at your condo? Well, wait, I had to move several times. You don't understand, you lie. No, did he ever visit you where you laid your head at night? Ever?
Hey, my favorite was, he must have lost 5 pounds of water weight after that testimony. I've never seen a man sweat that much unless he's in the gym in the free weight section. You know what I'm talking about, brother.
Yeah, oh, yeah, brother. Yeah, he did not look comfortable up there. She looked pissed. Like, she just looked aggravated, angry, but also she put on a show, and there are a lot of folks that are with her. So we'll see where it goes, and we'll see if the case continues against Trump there in Fulton County. Depends on
I know one
outside
thing,
groups.
Joey. I need to find out her address so I can break into her house because I heard she keeps large amounts of cash at home. God.
Well, if you're a lady and you're going on a date, you should have cash in your purse. I think that's
how much did she say? 200? She had exact
right.
amount.
Yeah, right.
$200, and just in case it goes bad or something. I'll tell you, she played all the cards yesterday. She had them all in a row, ready to rock.
It was great TV.
It was great. Wasn't it great? It was better than Jerry Springer. I said, she's got to come on today again. I got my recorder DVR on. I said, I need some good quality television, man.
Well, I appreciate the call, man.
Have a good day, guys.
Let's go to Red Top. Hey, Red Top.
In addition to what he said, I listened to about an hour of it. She was very arrogant. Not only that, she just seemed like trash. She was talking trashy. She was acting trashy. Like the comment that I would say such and such about a black man, as far as when he had medical problems and all that. She said, again, I would not make such and such a comment about a black man.
Yeah, I don't want to emasculate a black man here, I think.
You know.
What is she getting at? That he had like testicular cancer or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that she would make fun of a white man if he had testicular cancer. I mean, this is just such a weird racist answer. And I lived in Atlanta 15 years. This does not surprise me, the demeanor of her. I was surprised to see she was the most unsophisticated person in the whole courtroom, you have to admit. She was crude. And,
well, the clip I play all the time, when you don't have the argument, you bang the table.
This afternoon, we've seen a whole lot of table banging.
And that's what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, and was very much a mistake. She should have kept her damn mouth shut. And if she's not removed from that case, there's something big time wrong. Now, has any decision on Donald Trump's eligibility in Colorado yet?
Not that I've seen. Doesn't mean it hadn't happened, but I can check the latest.
Yes, those are going to be decided factors. He's probably going to lose a hell of a lot of money in New York and not practice real estate there anymore. But
it's expected any time now, but I've not seen anything breaking just yet.
But that deal he made with the Saudi royal family on the golf courses, ain't nobody in the Trump family ever going to worry about money ever again. It was a lot of money. Are you aware of that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the boy's going to be all right. But I just hate these rafts to hell and back. And God bless him for working his ass off for me. Roll Tide, go Trump. Have a good weekend, sir.
Appreciate it, Red Top. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you out when it comes to that roof of yours. You know, owning a home is probably going to be your most expensive investment in life and also your most long-term. And so whether you have an asphalt or a metal roof on that home, it should be inspected every 3 to 5 years for preventative maintenance. You know, I'm starting to learn you should take precautions on a lot of things. It might as well be like a yearly checkup on that roof of yours with these extremes of the Alabama weather we currently have. And so if you've got, you know, shingles, asphalt shingles that haven't been checked in a long time, or metal roofs that might have screws backing out, rubber seals dry rotting, you need to call up River Region Contracting today. And here's the great news. Their inspections and estimates are always free. And they're a team of insurance specialists. So if they do find a problem with your roof that your insurance company might pay for, River Region Contracting can walk you through that claims process and make it an easy, even pleasurable experience. Not something you usually associate with insurance claims. So call up Todd Clark and his team at River Region Contracting today. 356-8635. That's 356-8635. A premier roofing contractor here in the community. Y'all be sure to tell them that Joey from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is T-Spear. I tell you what, that Fanny show was cute yesterday. She was almost as pink colored underneath her melanin as that dress she was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
What got me on that is, do these two idiots not realize that his ex-wife can come back and file an amended divorce settlement and get money out of him now?
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of things said that opened up a lot of questions. Honestly,
a lot of questions.
My mind has been on other things than all the details of this. I mean, for a long time, I've thought this lawfare, this war that's happening behind the scenes, it's just, I don't have time for it. I got to pay attention, but I'm not going to let it monopolize my time.
Oh, we better all pay attention to what's happening, because if we think that this would only happen to Donald Trump, people better think again. The people that we have put into office at this point in time are absolutely rabid against the American conservatives. And if we don't watch ourselves very quickly, and I do mean very quickly, I'm trying to hide from the dogs, we're going to lose everything.
Yeah.
And I know that I've said it before, and I know that people roll their eyes whenever they hear it, regardless as to who says it. If we are not careful, we will lose this country has ever worked for.
Yeah, it does feel like we're actually on the brink of something, though I hesitate, T-Spear, because every election kind of feels that way with all the media frenzy. But in particular, this one feels like a lot of long-term trends. I mean, trends that have lasted and been going in a certain direction for a few decades now. They seem to be coming to a head, and that is making me a bit nervous, put it mildly.
You are absolutely correct. Anybody that's not watching, anybody that has decided that, oh, this is not so, that we're just being delusional, that we're being Chicken Little and the sky is falling, think again. Look at everything that has happened. How long will it take for all of these laws and bills that they wrote that are specifically against the American people? How long will it take to get rid of those laws and bills? We'll never get rid of them. It's like a tax. A tax never goes away. Ever.
Yeah, once they get those hooks in, they ain't taking them out.
No, it will be on our great-grandchildren's head, all of this that is happening. I absolutely, yes, I laughed at the Fannie Willis show. I will admit it. Man, she's got her knickers down around her ankles, and she got caught. She is absolutely in a rabid panic. However, what is happening to Donald Trump can happen to each and every one of us, and it would not take much for this government to do it. Somebody said the other day that they had watched Dr. Zhivago over the weekend, and how impactful that movie is even today. Today, there are people in Chicago who have been asked to open their homes so that someone can live and someone can stay during the wintertime in their guest room. Do they think that they will ever get that person out of their guest room? And once you get one in your guest room, how about that one invite a friend into their guest room? And suddenly you have a house full of guests that you didn't invite and you really don't want. Think again, people. Think again. And I tell you what, it takes shows like yours and Eddie and Greg to open their eyes. There was an article on Gateway Pundit last night that George Soros is now pouring over $2 billion into the radio industry. I thank God every day for Rick Peters and him standing up against someone like that. Money is not your enemy. People using money badly are your enemy.
Well, I appreciate the call, T-Spear, really do.
Well, y'all keep up the good work. Have a good weekend. Go to church. Tell God thank you. Tell him we appreciate him more than most people will ever know. Get down on your knees and pray for this country. Pray for the heroes. And stay strong. Keep having courage.
God
Thanks
bless.
a lot, guys.
Thank you. 272-9228. We got to hit another break here, but, more coming up. More news and views. Actually, before I hit this break, we are doing this thing now where it's a live stream. You just go to YouTube, search in YouTube, Joey Clark Live. And if you like the show, please like the show we're doing live and subscribe. Subscribing is a very big deal. If you could help us out, I would be very grateful. Even if you don't like the show, please subscribe and mess with us, and please comment. And we're getting plenty of comments rolling in. And let's see. Mark Cumby asking, where's the cowboy hat, man? I haven't had time to go shopping, Mark. But I think the cowboy hat could play. People saying I look like Rip from that popular show I've never watched. Romex Angler says, keep on doing what you do, Joey. You are good at it. Well, I appreciate that. Nice opening, Joey says. What is that? Skits? SKIX 88? How are you doing, sir? And then Romex Angler says, the best part of his career choice is your weight won't affect your performance. I knew there was going to be a dagger eventually. What a mistake to go to the comments. But again, Joey Clark Live. Like and subscribe. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge.
Vote for my mommy!
Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
Come see how you can drive a new Lexus from Lexus of Montgomery today. Get to the luxury event 4 years in the making. The Leap Year Lexus Savings Event. This month only, buy a new Lexus and leap past your payments till May. Drive true luxury in the 2024 Lexus RX. Now $499 a month. You can drive a new Lexus today. Visit Lexus of Montgomery, part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
With approved credit number RC02C205, 36 months, 10,000 miles, with $3,499 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock fee.
Hi, this is Jason with Wholesale Hunter. We've been advertising with Blue Water for a while now. We have great results with them. Appreciate everything they do with us.
Radio works. It's as simple as that.
Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. More signs of an economy that's still struggling. Housing starts tumbled last month, falling to a 6-month low. And while new home construction dropped, wholesale prices rose. The Producer Price Index, tracking inflation before it reaches consumers, rose 0.3% from December to January. Although earnings season is winding down, more company results are coming in, along with an assortment of economic indicators. Technology manufacturer Applied Materials jumped more than 11% after posting strong sales and profit. Dropbox tumbled almost 11% after issuing weak guidance, and online business review site Yelp fell more than 9%. Stocks opened mixed this morning on Wall Street before all three benchmarks, the Dow, Nasdaq, and the S&P, turned lower. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather. Well, hi, everybody. Yet another comfortable day today. I've got us around 69 for a high temperature, so not bad for mid-February. Mostly cloudy but dry today, and dry through the evening hours tonight if you have plans. The risk of showers holding off till after midnight tonight and first half of the day Saturday, but the probabilities of getting showers are small. Low tonight, mid to upper 40s. Tomorrow's high temperature only up to about 54. That is a big change. And then also breezy. Then I think colder Saturday night with a low temperature down near freezing, and Sunday's high well below normal, only in the low to mid 50s and upper 20s on Sunday night. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At ASE Credit Union, financing your next adventure is easier than ever with rates as low as 5.25%. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union, your life, your goals, your ASE.
News happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation, it's 272-9228. And, well, just to give a taste, this was happening in real time on MSNBC yesterday. I guess there are a lot of folks that wanted to talk about what they saw on the TV yesterday. This trial, like a lot of trials, is great TV, but this one in particular just seems so sordid. Like, you tried to overthrow democracy. How dare you get into my own personal life? Well, how dare you try to weaponize a justice system to take out the leading candidate for president? I don't care what you think he did. Like, it's amazing how democracy ain't all that democratic in this country or anywhere else. But this is MSNBC Live yesterday, reacting to the Fannie thing going on.
That's Attorney Chuck Rosenberg, who's going to be with us in just a minute. But Caroline, we've all been watching this, and it's so legalistic centric and yet so important and fascinating.
Right. Don't let the legalese fool you. This is epic. This is monumental. If things are going in the direction we think, Fani Willis lied to the court, it's game over for her. She will be disqualified. If they had a relationship prior to when they represented to the court, it's a huge deal. I can't overstate it.
And do you feel the same way, Charles, based on the testimony?
Yeah, it is a big deal. It's a big effing deal. Excuse me, pardon me, folks, but that's a huge issue. Now, MSNBC got back on script in the morning. Let's go. I guess this is Lisa Rubin.
No matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
I want to talk with you, Lisa, about that legally, and then I want to talk, Michael, with you about that politically. What did you make of that moment?
I thought that moment was successful for Fani Willis. She sort of harnessed her emotion, and in that moment redefined, let's peel back the onion and clarify why it is that we're here. You've given me the equivalent of a proctological exam on national television, and none of it was necessary because what you're trying to do is what, as Andrew just mentioned, distract from what my office is doing. We had conversations today about how much cash Fani Willis kept in her home at all times based on directions from her father and how she was raised. We could not have gotten any further afield from the allegations in her very sizable indictment. So at that moment to crystallize, hey, wait a second.
Hold on, lady. I don't care if you're on MSNBC. Don't you be questioning or bringing up the size of anybody's indictment. It's rude. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is John.
Hey, John. How you doing?
Yeah, I just want you to help me clarify something. I've heard a 1,000 times liberals say, because I listen to Progress Radio a good bit, and in that, and on MSNBC and places like that where you got the gathering of liberals, they're always continually saying they're trying to destroy our democracy.
Yeah.
They're trying to tear it down. What do they mean by that? Because they never clarify what that means. I'm just curious. Maybe you've got some insight on it I'm not aware of.
Every time you hear that phrase, because of our democracy, for our democracy, defending our democracy, I would translate democracy to a word called hegemony, or us being in power. I think that is actually the translation, that democracy is the elite ruling class in this country getting what they want. And for a long time, they've rigged the game. They've already hacked elections, and I'm not talking about voting machines. They've figured out a way through media and through the party structure to actually have two choices that, yeah, are a choice, but they're kind of a false choice and don't truly reflect what the American people want. And that's now just become exaggerated. They're losing grip on control as we get new media. And as they lose more and more of a grip on the minds of the American people, the more shrill they're becoming about our democracy, as they're worried about losing an election being anti-democratic somehow. But yeah, just translate our democracy to our hegemony.
Okay. Well, then I was thinking right about that then.
Yes.
I didn't know exactly what that, I mean, it's essentially all about power and gaining control and being able to control lives and things like that through their power that they should be able to dictate because they know better than anybody else. Am I right?
That's absolutely right. Well said, John.
Yeah. Well, one more thing that I would like to know. How have we gotten to the point that it's come down to a choice between people like that manipulate as opposed to the way it seemed to be when I was growing up and how have we gotten to that point? And one other thing, as far as it seems like, on another note I wanted to know, when I was a kid and a young adult, Democrats loved some Russians. I mean, they did. They loved communism. They loved Russians. They called Reagan a piece of trash because of what he said about Russia and that kind of thing. And all of a sudden now they're the evil empire and they can say whatever they want to about them, and conservative people are in bed with them. What happened there?
Oh, well, with the shift in the Russian stuff, that's sort of, they became the Cold Warriors. They realized, because Barack Obama was mocking Mitt Romney. You remember that debate where he said, the 1980s goal, they want their foreign policy back. But what happened is the never-Trumpers were almost all the sort of neoconservatives, a lot of the Bushites of the Republican Party. They just moved to the Democrats, and they took with them, and Romney's, I think, part of that group, their, disdain for Russia. Then you also get, I think they set a time bomb when they started accusing Trump of working with Russia or blaming the Russians for Hillary Clinton's emails being dumped and all these other leaks. That laid a narrative to where it just became kind of let's keep doubling down. It's good for business. It's a good scapegoat. Anybody disagrees is a puppet of Putin. I think that explains the shift to a degree.
Okay.
And about also your childhood and all that. I think a lot of this stuff was still going on. It just was a little more hidden. Again, they had more control of media. But then also, it was a different generation. I don't know exactly how old you are, John, but, after the war, as we get into the 60s, 70s, even though there are hard times, it's still folks who knew what World War II was like. It's still folks who knew what we took to build a country up. And now we've churned, and we're several generations since. Not many World War II veterans are around. And I think it explains a lot of the nastiness. Like we're losing the prosperity, and the less that you have to fight over, the more you're going to fight.
Yeah. I'm a child of the 70s, I suppose, and came into adulthood in the early 80s, so I guess that's my generation, but we're a far cry from where we were, and I didn't have any idea we would be at this point.
Yeah. Well, you and me both. I'm a kid of the 90s. Talk about a golden era. Even with Clinton, like the worst is like Clinton got Anyway.
Yeah. Have a great weekend, bud.
Appreciate it, John. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this? Hello?
Hello, am I here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is Clark.
Hey, Clark.
So many things. You covered things so well. On our democracy, to put a finer point on that, our democracy refers to the uniparty's ability to permanently rule us against our will.
Correct.
That is our democracy. Now, on the Fani Willis thing and the other indictments, if you woke up and there were 91 paper bags on your front porch, and you opened the first one, and it was full of steaming dog poop, how many more bags would you open before you concluded that probably they're all steaming dog poop?
Probably, unless you're like that old man in Billy Madison. It's poop again. Don't tell me what to do, devil woman. But yeah, now, I think you're right in where you're going with this. Clip.
Okay. Now, I have a question for you. If you can help me, counsel me, advise me. I wonder, on Soros and the radio stations, am I being intellectually dishonest? Am I being hypocritical? Because when we did Radio Free Europe, I thought that was a great thing. To tell people behind the Iron Curtain about freedom, I thought that was a good thing.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, when at best a globalist is buying up radio stations in my country to turn us more into collectivism, I'm not good with it. Am I being hypocritical?
No, I don't think you are. I think there's right and wrong, and sometimes advancing the right, it's not a matter of the tactic of advancing a message behind a so-called curtain. It's more about what is the message, and I think the message in the Cold War was a great one for America to blast through, and I think the message George Soros and his ilk would like to push on the population is demonic.
Well, I guess, what I have to think about is the fact that none of the Soviet bloc countries ever let us put radio stations inside their countries. They didn't let us control radio, so we had to broadcast from outside, didn't we?
Right.
And now we're going to let George Soros control the second largest chain of radio stations in America?
Right. Well, he's going to try, but as somebody in the industry, if you don't have the right tone, people really don't tune in. And also, you're now competing with the internet and podcast. I think not every podcast, because everybody's got one, but podcasts are where it's at in terms of moving the needle with the new generation coming up.
Well, what I've got to do is go look at Odyssey and see what he can shut down through that. Not so much what he can broadcast, but what he can stop. And I don't know that right.
Right. Well, I
You
appreciate
keep doing what you do.
Thank you, Clark.
Yes, sir. I appreciate. Yes, sir.
Fine, first hour, excuse me. Fine first hour, I suppose, folks. But hey, we got to hit this break first, though. Let's listen to an ad by Gary Palmer here.
Hello, Alabama. This is your all-time favorite president, Donald J. Trump. My friend, Congressman Gary Palmer, is running for re-election to Alabama's 6th Congressional District. Gary is an America First conservative who is fighting to secure our border, strengthen our military, and protect and defend our undersea Second Amendment. Alabama, please get out and vote for Gary Palmer for Congress on March 5th. He will not let you down. Thank you.
I'm Gary Palmer, and I approve this message.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Russian authorities say that President Putin's key political challenger, Alexei Navalny, has died in an Arctic prison colony. World leaders and President Biden are blaming Putin. Kansas City police working with juvenile prosecutors to determine what happens next with 2 young people in custody. 1 person died, 22 were hurt in the Chiefs parade shooting on Wednesday. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin says he's not running for president, according to his spokesman John Cott. Manchin announced the decision in a speech at West Virginia University. His Senate seat in a heavily Republican state is expected to be a prime pickup opportunity for the GOP. The Dow is down 22 points, the Nasdaq off 57. This is SRN News.
New FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy, it's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything, including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. And remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
Weather is brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
Your health and well-being can quickly be impacted by changing weather. The Johnny Adams Law Firm wants you to remain safe and be weather alert with the Rich Thomas Weather Network.
Well, hi, everybody. Yet another comfortable day today. I've got us around 69 for a high temperature, so not bad for mid-February. Mostly cloudy but dry today, and dry through the evening hours tonight if you have plans. The risk of showers holding off till after midnight tonight and first half of the day Saturday, but the probabilities of getting showers are small. Low tonight, mid to upper 40s. Tomorrow's high temperature only up to about 54. That is a big change. And then also breezy. Then I think colder Saturday night with a low temperature down near freezing. And Sunday's high well below normal, only in the low to mid 50s and upper 20s on Sunday night. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A group of school choice supporters rallied outside the Alabama State House this week, urging lawmakers to pass a school choice bill this session. The group says they want access to their tax dollars for education to use as they choose, so their children aren't forced to attend a failing public school. Montgomery police are launching a homicide investigation following the death of a shooting victim. 35-year-old Richie Freeney was shot on Friday night, December 22nd, in the 330 block of McElvey Street. Freeney was transported to a local hospital for treatment where he died yesterday. Suspect and motive remain unknown. Alabama voters will soon be going to the polls to vote. The upcoming March 5th primary includes federal, state, and local elections, but if you're not registered to vote, time is running out. February 16th will be the last day to hand-deliver a voter registration form to your local board of registers. February 19th if you decide to register online. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. an equal housing lender.
Hey there, River Region area. Dawson Electric hopes you had an amazing Christmas and a fantastic New Year. As we step into 2024, it's time to tackle those resolutions and make sure your home or business is in tip-top shape. And for all your electrical needs, there's one name you can trust, Dawson Electric. Whether you're planning a remodel, constructing a new home, or require service for your existing electrical systems, Dawson Electric has got you covered. Need emergency generators installed? Looking to enhance your outdoor space with stunning landscape lighting? Dawson Electric is the answer. We do it all for homes and commercial spaces alike. For more information, you can find us on Facebook. Search for Dawson Electric Company, LLC. Hit the like button and stay connected with us. We're happy to speak with you at any time. Just call 334-270-8024. Say it with me. That's 334-270-8024. For all your electrical service needs for home or business, call us at Dawson Electric. Dawson Electric, lighting up your world.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge. Vote for my mommy! Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
Don't settle for what Uncle Sam wants to give you. Get to Toyota of Montgomery today, where we'll double your tax refund. This month only, Toyota of Montgomery will double your money. If you have a $1,000 refund, we'll double it to $2,000. $2,000 is now $4,000. $5,000 is now up to $10,000. It gets even better because Toyota of Montgomery has incredible incentives on our new inventory, like the new 2024 Toyota Camry LE, now only $299 a month, or the best-selling new 2024 RAV4 LE. It's only $349 a month. That's double your refund money up to $10,000 plus save on new Toyotas and more for your trade. Get to Toyota of Montgomery online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group. Dealer will match tax refund up to $5,000 for dealer discount off TSRP. Example, 2024 Toyota Sequoia Hybrid Capstone 4-wheel drive in transit vehicle. TSRP $84,172. Camry MSRP $30,958. RAV4 MSRP $28,214. 12,000 miles per year for 39 months with 3638 due at signing. $0 security deposit with approved credit on sealed new Toyota purchases. Select new Toyota purchases plus taxes, tag, title, and $999. Offers end 2/29/2024.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. If you want to get in on the program, that's 272-9228. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the show, Gambling Pass actually got that out yesterday, and Gambling Pass in a strong, very strong fashion indeed when it comes to the House of Representatives. They handily approved the legislation. Here's a write-up from Craig Monger of 1819 News. The legislation took the lion's share of debate for the first 2 weeks of the regular session. State Rep Chris Blackshear sponsored the two bills needed to establish gambling and presented them for a lengthy debate before the House. One bill, House Bill 151, will repeal all constitutional amendments allowing gambling in certain parts of the state or remove the state's constitutional gambling prohibition. The other, House Bill 152, authorizes a series of provisions legalizing casino gaming in specific locations, a statewide lottery, and online sports betting. One's the constitutional amendment, one is the enabling legislation. The constitutional amendment, HB 151, was first on the floor with a substitute encompassing the amendment approved in committee on Wednesday, clearing up jurisdictional language and allowing the legislature to grant jurisdiction to any court to hear cases concerning gaming. I think that's a good move, not limiting how you could actually adjudicate gambling decisions in the state. While most spoke in favor of the legislation, some gave sundry reasons for concerns about the bill. Those speaking in favor pointed to the fact that ultimately the people of Alabama will have to vote in favor of this for it to be enacted. Those opposed mainly spoke on the perceived adverse effects on community and individuals. So we'll continue to visit this, but now it goes to the Senate. And my gut tells me that this is going to be a bit of an uphill battle for all sorts of good reasons. That I don't think it is going to as smoothly sail through the Alabama State Senate. So we shall see. We shall see. Plenty of movement behind the scenes, and the negotiating really begins now. Let's go to line one. You're on the air. Who's this?
It's Biloxi Gambler. You switch topics, which is fine, because I love this topic, too. The thing that I don't like about the bill, of course, I'm against gambling in the state of Alabama. Everybody knows that. I'm against scratch-offs. It's okay to have a weekly lottery. Sports gaming would probably be okay. But this grandfathering in of the illegal casinos that have been operating like in Greene County that owe millions of dollars in back taxes. And where'd that money go? When they would have to pay their back taxes.
No, that's part of this, actually. The grandfathering in is you have to pass several steps. I don't have them all right in front of me. But one is any fees or taxes owed. You have to disclose your ownership. You have to do all sorts of stuff in order to be in good standing. Good. And then you would then be part of an open bid process, I believe.
Okay, well, then I like that. Now, I know in Mississippi, to have a casino license, you have to have parking for 500 cars. You have to have 500 plus, and I don't know the exact numbers. I've seen them before. But anyway, like a 500 room hotel room, you have to have a 24-hour dining establishment. You have to have a fine dining establishment that seats at least, I think, 85. And then you have to have a main dining, well, I call it a main, like a diner that seats, 300 people. And, of course, they skirt that. Even in Mississippi, they skirt that. They have the big dining room, but they only staff it for, 100 customers, and there's always...
As the bill currently exists, I don't think those sorts of standards exist. It might be possible that the Gaming Commission that is commissioned by this bill could go into that, but right now the commission's only responsible for approving 7 gaming licenses, and here are the standards. Potential bidders must submit a minimum $5 million licensing fee with no upper limit. The minimum phase 1 investment is $35 million, and construction must begin within 12 months of the license being issued. And then every location is subject to approval by a county commission or city council, and if the local municipality or county wants to put it up for a local referendum, they can do it that way as well.
And what are the qualifications to be on the gaming commission, though?
I think those are appointed, like a few are from the Senate, a few from the House, a few from the governor. Yeah, I see what you mean.
That's the scary part. They need to have a law enforcement background.
Yeah, I think it's whatever pleases the parties that get to appoint. That's the qualifications.
I know over in Mississippi, those guys are, because you have to retire from the FBI at 60. And they have law enforcement people on the ground everywhere, buddy. They don't play with nothing over there. Because anytime you got money, man, you got that corruption. But the reason I called y'all, everybody keeps talking about George Soros.
Sure.
George Soros is a very old man. He could die any day. He's a philosopher. He's got a master's in philosophy, but he did go to
No doubt he's a brilliant man. I don't agree with him in his goal, but he is quite ingenious.
I don't know that he's even running things. Don Fitzpatrick's actually running it.
Right.
And I don't know how old she is, but she's the one. And I think, Soros retired in 92. And he made the reason I know all this, because, I'm a money guy. And Soros is, he made the biggest trade or whatever. He made over $1 billion on one trade. Billion. and he did that in '91, and then in '92 he retired, and then that of course that'd be during Clinton, and that's when some of this stuff started happening. But that goes back to his philosophy degree, which is why I shouldn't even be talking college. But anyway,
Hey, don't be knocking Karl Popper too much. The guy had some good points.
I understand. Yeah. Okay, political science. I got you. But anyway, that's when it started. But I think Don Fitzpatrick's the one, and now we may be stuck with her for a long time. But I don't know that George Soros would be really all this LGBTQ stuff. I think that's really coming from Don, because I don't know many 90-something-year-old people that are, it's just a different time. You come from a different era. But anyway,
it could just be the zeitgeist, and he's going with it to accrue more power. But I appreciate the call, really do.
Anyway, I want to hear what everybody else got to say. But yeah, that gambling, it needs to be. There's some tweaks that need to be made. But it's going to happen. But
I don't think it is. I don't think it gets through the Senate.
Well, just like the marijuana bill, though, it'll get messed up. It'll, whatever.
We'll see.
All right, guys.
Later.
They can't do anything right now about it. Talk to you later. Bye.
Let's go to line 3. You're on the air. Who's this?
Joey, how are you?
I'm all right, James. How you doing?
I'm okay, man. Let me share some of my understanding. Thieves and crooks don't retire, and they don't care what kind of chaos they cause or what their poison is that causes chaos. Let's say 6 months ago, I go to my mailbox and I see where some lady's running for some position, and she's Republican, and she has taken the stance of removing taxes from our food. So incrementally over time, and I'm not sure how much this woman had invested in this, or how, if she had her hands on the levers or what. But eventually it becomes an item that everybody's on board with, or, well, not everybody, but enough to tip the scale, and we are rolling back this so-called regressive tax. And now we've passed the House, and whether it passes the Senate or not, this thing will keep coming up on an annual basis.
Right.
And eventually we will have to replace the regressive food tax, a regressive tax known as gambling. Now, I realize we already have this with the Porch Creek Indians, and we want to make it more widespread, more available, so people don't drive to Georgia or drive to Mississippi or drive to Tennessee or wherever, Florida, for their scratch off or to pull those Roscoes or to roll the dice or play blackjack or whatever. And this is not an advertisement for gambling, Joey, although it may have started to seem that way. Those people that can afford to get in their car and go over for the weekend or for just for the day and drive back home, let those people go. The people that concern me are those that will bet their milk money on the scratch off if it becomes easily enough obtained. In other words, the gambling. There are those that would argue that we have 99 vices already. I would argue against having 100. Some people that are in favor of gambling have never had a gambling problem. I am against it just for that reason alone. And just like my stance against these educational savings accounts, I think it's more government. It's setting us up in a bad situation. And I realize that this gambling, if it goes through, is going to probably be part of this ESA package where they're getting this $800 million from. But money, unless you're printing it on a printing press, federal government, Federal Reserve System, and any other cartel that prints money and makes money from nothing, and that's basically what they do.
Right.
Unless you're doing that, money is finite. So this $800 million that they're going to pull from somewhere, and it's in the Montgomery Advertiser's, I think, Wednesday's paper. I could be a day or two off. But when you start pulling money from somewhere, it's coming from somewhere. In other words, there's less money for other things as a result of pouring money into this alternative school system that they want to build. And the third thing that they have in there is this, what is it called? Virtual classroom.
Mm-hmm.
We know for a fact, if you will look up the information, you will see that in 2020, retention and test scores was far lower as a result of the virtual classroom than having the teacher in the class with the children. And that's where we're headed. We're headed to that virtual classroom, no teacher, no classroom, and you think we got issues with failing schools? I can manufacture failing schools by taking a Common Core test and testing it at the end of the year where there is no correlation between what is taught during the year and what is tested. And that is what is currently being done.
Mm.
I know this for a fact because I sat in the classroom, taught the material, and then gave the test at the end of the year, the so-called Common Core test, which had zero correlation between what I taught and what was tested at the end of the year. I know this for a fact. So producing failing schools is easy to do. Am I making any kind of sense at all?
Oh, yeah, no, I was listening to you. Just to give it back to you, I think you're right that, look, we got a cent off the regressive grocery tax, and now we're going to have a $710 billion sap of the economy, and it's incredibly regressive. You're right on who gambles and who ends up being the losers in gambling.
Exactly.
Now, I think you and I probably have a little more of a disagreement on the school choice thing, but here's something I would advance to you, not just on the merits of the bill. I think the way that Arthur Orr, I think, is shepherding this, pretty, clever, smart fella. And I think he's, in particular, pretty clever on this, where it's capped at $100 million, and it's incredibly means-tested. And he's making the argument that essentially growth in the ETF will make up for the $100 million. We're not even pulling from other areas with growth projections. Now, is it going to win the day? I don't know exactly. I have a little more hope for the school choice passing. The point you made about virtual classrooms is great, especially what we experienced in COVID. Wouldn't there not be an optimal way, though, to use virtual classrooms in the sense that you would have, if you have a small school setting, you need actual physical teachers there working with kids, actual people there working with kids. But if you could have the most kick-butt instructor on a given subject be beamed in and, do a presentation to the kids while you still have that regular teacher, couldn't that work to a degree?
That's what we're going to wind up with. But what we're going to have before it's over with, we won't have a teacher in the classroom. We're going to have a 6'3", 250-pound monster for a hall monitor in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have to pay the benefits package that teachers are dependent on now once they put in their 25 or 30. And it's not only about losing the teacher in the classroom, it's about losing the teacher that we're raising in the classroom. What is that kid going to do that would have been Miss Shanks or Miss Jones or Mr. Brown?
I hear where you're coming from. Though you're probably familiar with the name John Taylor Gatto.
Honestly, I'm not.
He was, I think, Teacher of the Year in New York in '89, and then after he received the award, he essentially is in a camp that he thinks the way schooling's become in public and private is it should be done away with. One essay I sent to a friend last night is "Why Schools Don't Educate" by John Taylor Gatto. It's a guy who was a teacher, a very effective teacher, got a lot of awards, and then he kind of turned his back on the whole institution, and he has his reasons and pretty developed ones. You don't have to agree with the man, but he's worth looking into. That's where I lie. It's not the popular conventional opinion. It's certainly not popular in the legislature. But I tend to think our schools have been built and they sort of suppress kids. And the trend is not just, I think the trend is longer than you were teaching, James. The trend over 100 years or so is not good. Even in the best places, supposedly education is like Massachusetts.
I think I'm hearing you, Joey.
Yeah.
In between coughing spells.
That's all right. Well, I've got a bunch of calls rolling in here.
I got you, brother. You have a nice week, and as they say in old England, ta-ta.
Cheers, mate. 272-9228. Let's see what we got on line one here. You're on there. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Joe.
Hey, Joe.
These people that are talking about Soros want to present him as a benign, older businessman. They need to do their homework. This man, he's at the top level of the world government with what now is the Fourth Reich, Germany, Europe, and the controlling the UN. In his early days, he went and destabilized economies for these people so they would be loyal to the world government in the UN.
Yeah, he broke the Bank of England, and he funded all sorts of color revolutions all over Eastern Europe. Yep.
This man is dangerous.
Yep.
And when he was a teenager, he's a Jew. Over in Yugoslavia, when Hitler was doing his stuff over there, he and his dad turncoat against the Jews and went to the Nazi side with that. My reports are that while they were in prison as Jews, getting gold out of the Jews' teeth for the Nazi regime. This man is not a benign, elderly businessman. Need to do this. This is Fourth Reich all over again, and this is not good. They need to do their homework.
Well, one of these days, though, he ain't long for this world, so it'd be good and wise to. Right, I was going to say it'd be good and wise to follow who's inheriting this.
It's the world government. It's the Fourth Reich coming out of Germany and European Union and UN, and they're in our government now, in the Federal Reserve System, and in our government with the leaders. We're in bad shape.
Yeah, we are.
People need to do their homework about this.
Do you have any suggestions of who people should read?
Who they should agree? What?
Or read. Like, where should they start?
Read? Well, first off, let's get Obama away from the UN. He's their people. I want to tell you all a story about something, and I heard this from Hillary Clinton, and this will sum it up. The people that we heard that Obama had a mentor when he was a teenager, Frank Marshall Davis. He's connected to these world elites, to this Fourth Reich thing coming out of Europe and the UN, just like Soros. Hillary got on the elections there when she was going with Clinton and stuff. I mean, not Clinton, but Trump. And she slipped and said, "Oh, Bill had a mentor, Frank Marshall Davis." Same one. They mentored two of our worst presidents that took us down the road to socialism. And it came out of the same group.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt that there is a global ruling elite that transcends national boundaries, and they are hell-bent on getting their way. Yeah. Oh, and there are a lot of folks in D.C., for sure, that are part of this.
They funded the Rockefellers.
Why do you call it the Fourth?
Controlling the Federal Reserve.
Why do you call it the Fourth Reich, though? Why the allusion to the Nazis?
Well, because everything that came out through this thing since the French Revolution, of course, Holy Roman Empire, the Rothschilds came out of that. That was the First Reich. Second Reich was your World War I thing. Second, your World War III. All of this is through the same people. Now, I have seen a document. It was a copy. But in April of 45, there was a document out there to where they formed the Fourth Reich because they knew the Third was fixing to end. And in this document, it had these words stated, that we have tried twice for world domination militarily, and it didn't succeed. This time we will do it through economics.
Well,
people need to watch out for these red herrings. These are the people we have to watch.
Well, I appreciate the call. I got a bunch more rolling in. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. Well, they're ready to help you men out. You know, as we get older men, as we get older, fellas, you know how it works. You get problems like erectile dysfunction or other issues, or it could be low testosterone. And it's nothing to deny, put off, or be ashamed about. Not something to wait to get fixed. And in fact, you might be walking around living your life with a fog hanging over you, but you don't know that it is in fact low T causing it. But if you are feeling always tired, a lack of energy, perhaps you're seeing unwanted weight gain, even a decrease in sex drive, it could very well be low testosterone. Knowing whether or not you have low T is huge in combating some of these issues. You know, you should make it part of your annual men's health routine to go get your testosterone and PSA checked. And that's like a great marker for prostate health, a PSA check. And you might as well start getting this done at younger and younger ages. Urologists are suggesting even men started at the age of 18. And so if you're experiencing a lot of these symptoms, just go by Montgomery Men's Health today. The providers there will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And they have treatments that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, brother, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido. You can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. That number for Montgomery Men's Health, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. And be sure to tell them that you heard about him here from Joey, that crazy fella on the radio. Be right back. Y'all hold your horses on line 2 and 3.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Sweetheart?
Yeah?
Well, I've been thinking, I'm tired of this house.
What? You want to move?
Yeah, but we'd have to do some updating, to get top dollar.
Updating really does make a lot of sense, especially when you're talking about lighting. That's where Crosby Electric comes in. They'll help you choose a stunning pendant fixture over your bathroom sink, dramatic flush mount lighting over your kitchen island, maybe some LED panels to backlight your countertops. Energy-saving LED lighting has really come down in price. Or how about a new ceiling fan that moves air more efficiently than fans built only 10 years ago? The bottom line, updating your lighting almost always delivers a full return on your investment.
Well, sweetheart, the house looks fabulous.
Yeah.
Guess I'll put out the for sale sign.
Wait.
What?
I don't want to move.
Find out how to turn your house into the home you'll never want to leave. Visit CrosbyElectric.com or call 272-2085.
Hey folks, this is Tammy Burkhalter at Prattville Farm Center, and did you know there's all kind of dogs that we can feed? Like sleeping dog, hot dog, creek dog, swimming dog, hunting dog, shaggy dog, lap dog, window dog, riding dog, hiding dogs, puppy dog, standing dog, hat dog, cozy dog, family dog, even a dancing dog, man. So come see us at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville, and we can even feed your kitty cat too.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. We're getting more calls rolling in, but you feel free. We got a couple of lines open. 272-9228. That's 272-9228. Let's go right to Dirty Water Jones. Hey, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Joey. Love your show, man.
Thanks,
love
man.
it. I absolutely love your show. You have a brilliant mind.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
What I was thinking, I had to pull over and stop. You know, the guy said that people are going to spend their milk money on gambling. You know, that's just the nanny government rearing their ugly head. People are going to do with their money what they want to. You know, we don't need a government institution dictating what we do with our money. You know what I mean?
Sure. I see, though, that people, if we're going to legalize gambling, need to be very clear-eyed that there are costs to this. And there are some folks that, yeah, maybe they're already doing it in other places, but it can destroy lives and families.
Well, yeah, I agree, but that's people's choice.
Right. Exactly.
You know, it's just like this, oh, my God, this medical marijuana, you know, my opinion, they're not letting it go until they can figure out how much money they can steal from it, you know?
Right. Well, I think it was a badly designed bill, and honestly, if somebody wants to go get pot in this town or this state, I think they can find it easily.
Hell yeah.
It's just that one in particular, I think is a shame. We're continuing to just kid ourselves with the reality of that one.
Well, you know, Joey, I got a lot of friends in California, and it's legal out there. They got dispensaries, you know, but most of them still go buy from private growers because it's cheaper. But they've taxed it so much that nobody wants to buy it.
Right. Right. The black market's still strong. Right.
Hell yeah.
Well, one place that did medical marijuana all right, they almost did it too, like, I can't believe I'm about to say this too freely, but I think it worked pretty well, is Oklahoma. And so, like, their problem is they have too many people growing, too many people open up shops, but the market will kind of sort itself out eventually. But I kind of, if we're going to have any regulation, it should be the lightest touch possible and then let things run. And yeah, you're right to your first point. Let people make their own decisions. And if they choose to go to hell, well, I don't want them to. I'll pray for them not to, but again, it's their choice.
So that's exactly how I feel, Joey. God gave us free will. You know, we can't legislate morality to anyone. That's impossible. You know, if someone is irresponsible, they're going to be irresponsible, regardless of the law.
Right, there you go. It comes back to the individual. I appreciate the call, man. I really do. And
all right,
you
hey,
listen.
Joey.
Thank you, sir.
Love your show, brother. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Let's go to Penny. Hello, Penny.
Hey, that's pretty much. He said pretty much what I was thinking. You cannot regulate morality, and if that person who was on there earlier, who the heck died and made him Jesus? That's Jesus's job. And if you're not taught morals and things, and by the time you're 16 years old, it's a little bit too late to try. And if we want to talk about things that cause negative impact and ruin families, why don't we talk about the alcoholism? Why don't we talk about the morbid obesity, how we're giving people out food stamps, and yet then we have to turn around and pay for all the medical bills because they're morbidly obese and have 10 disease processes before they're 5 years old. You know, and then when they get older, about 20, then we pay for their gastric bypass because they're on Medicaid because they can't work. I mean, you cannot control morality, and that's God's work to judge us, no one else.
Well, and here's how I would put it, because I think morality underpins everything. So yeah, there's going to be some moral
principles you should appeal to as you're crafting any form of legislation. The way I would put it is we built a society that says people can live life without tears, that if you go screw up, we'll take care of you. If you really are down and out and unlucky, we'll take care of you. Everything can always be forgiven and made up for. And I think that's leading to people not taking personal responsibility for their own bad decisions because they know, well, I've got a safety
Somebody
net
will
here.
bail them out.
Right.
Yeah, somebody will bail them out. I'm 100% with you on that. The government tries to overstep and oversee everything to the 10th degree when they really just need to be there to set healthy, safe boundaries. But you're exactly right. And what's so sad is we're all creatures of I lost my train of thought. In other words, we go from one extreme to the other extreme. If we love something, we go crazy with it. If we don't use it at all. Instead of having a balance, because that's just how humans are. We find something we love and we go crazy with it. But you're exactly right. We need to have a balance. Like we keep seeing all these young girls have children out of wedlock, and they know good and well what caused the first one. But yet we keep saying, well, we'll pay for the second one, we'll pay for the third one, we'll pay for the fourth, fifth, sixth, and they're just using those children as pawns to get a bigger check every month to live on, which to me is abuse of a child. And I can see we'll help you out with the first one. However, what I think needs to be done is if you weren't raped and it wasn't incest, then give us the name of the person who you laid down and had your night of pleasure with, and we're going to do a paternity suit, and then we're going to garnish his or her wages so that both parties have to pay for their night of pleasure, because I think it is absurd how we keep paying millions of dollars every year for people's night of pleasure. And they don't more love these children than the man in the moon. Look at how they treat them.
Right.
They didn't have them because they wanted them. They had them out of convenience, and they used the child as a pawn to get what they want. And that's a lack of morality right there. So let's put a stop to it. Everybody gets one screw up, and after that, you still got to give us the person's name. If it wasn't incest or a rape, give us the man's name. And guess what? You both are going to pay for what you created.
Well, and I think the best,
some accountability.
and people screw up and make bad decisions.
Yeah.
So I think if safety nets are going to exist, if mercy is going to exist, it should be much more on a local level. But I think people would be shocked at how much they could actually adapt and survive, and in fact, do better in life if there weren't all these safety nets and all this help
Free
out there.
handout.
Yeah, all this help.
You're exactly right. I was a single parent at a young age, and you know what? I never have taken a day of welfare, food stamps, housing, nothing. And you know what? It made me into the person I am today, which is a better person than I would have been if I had been on welfare. I can guarantee you that, because I pull my weight. I'm accountable for what I do, and I think that's how everybody should be. You should question, what have you given to the world instead of the other way around. What's the world given me?
There you go.
You need to have a purpose, something here in life to keep you going. And it's just sad when you see people who live without a goal or any purpose in their life. If you look at them, 9 chances out of 10, they're severely depressed and on antidepressants, or they're using alcohol or drugs to cover up and hide their misery.
Right, and to your point, for all the progress we've made over, say, the last century or so, and it has been true progress, especially materially, I think a lot of the changes socially generally are for the better, more openness, so to speak. But it's interesting how life has become more comfortable and there are more opportunities, and yet people seem to be more miserable in terms of their self-reported happiness. And I find that maybe there's more to life than being comfortable, so to speak.
Yeah, there is, because if you don't have goals, you have nothing to keep you driven and nothing for you to keep going with. I mean, if you're just handed everything, I mean, and it's, to me, I'm 60 years old, and I've been very blessed. I've never suffered from any type of depression or anxiety where I needed medication, and I know some of those are legit, real disease processes. However, I think a lot of it is just not having any purpose in life. And to me, when I see 20 and 30-year-olds on daily medication for depression, it saddens my heart to know that you're in the prime of your life. You should be the happiest person and have the fullest of energy and have goals and stuff. And and it's so sad. I mean, they're on medication and they're still miserable. It's very sad because I want everybody to be happy, because when we are all happy, we have a beautiful world to live in. We don't have all this hate. We need more love in the world, and it's just so sad.
Well, and also
yeah.
I've started to learn, because I'm often a Debbie Downer and just dour, and it's just my personality. It's been that way since I was a kid. I'm starting to realize happiness is not like a plateau you get to or a summit you find. It's more a process. Like you find something you love and you continue to engage in it, and it's healthy. It doesn't have diminishing returns like drugs or sex or a lot of other things. It's almost like making music. Like you can always, we only have so many chords and so many notes, yet people keep creating brand new things that are often amazing, can inspire. And that's the sort of stuff, that's I guess a loose metaphor for happiness. It's not something you can always just grip and hold on to, but you can sort of go with the flow and find something new each day.
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny because I wish I could remember the exact way the quote reads. It's something about, I wish I was happy, but actually happiness is a choice. You choose to be happy. You choose to make it happen for you. And I'm totally there with you on music, because that's one of my best coping mechanisms for stress, that and exercise. And you really can have a natural high just by listening to some really good music. At least it does for me, as well as exercising. And it's just sad to me that everybody hasn't found that in their life, because we all deserve to be happy. God didn't put us on this earth to be miserable. I don't believe that, and I never will. However, evil does exist out there, and it seems to be outweighing the good here lately. But we all deserve to be happy, and I hope and I wish that for everyone, because, God, I have had a wonderful life, joy beyond what I probably deserve, and I hope I have some more coming to me. But it's just really sad. But, yeah, you can't regulate morality, and I hate to say it, I had a girlfriend of mine who married a preacher, and he was always trying to regulate and fix everybody. And I'm like, when did you become Jesus? And the sad thing about it to me was that when you looked at his own family, they all rebelled against him, because you can't force that on someone. You can only bring them to it and hope they accept it and run with it. Like you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it.
Right.
And we should be the example, not the person that shoves it down your throat. In other words, you don't have the right to shove your religion down my throat. You can only make me wish that I had something that made me as happy as what your religion does to you. That's how you get real people to change. That's how you bring people to church, not by shoving it down their throat. But
well, they know by your example, and it's a slow process. I appreciate it, Penny. I really do.
Yeah,
I got to run though.
I enjoyed it. All right, bye.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you folks out. Whether you're looking to buy a home, could be your first time or could be your second or third home. But if you're looking for local folks who can trust, you can trust, they get to know you, they sit down, get to know you and, well, your goals in owning a home. And they'll get you the best possible deal, or they could help you with a great refinance deal to unload credit card debt, any sort of debt that might be hanging over your head. Or it could be, hey, I want to use this money to go on a vacation. I want to reinvest in my home. I want to have fun with the family this year. It's your money. You built it up, that equity in your home. But the special thing they just told me about a week or two ago is if you have student loans and you have equity built up in your home, you need to call Alabama Home Mortgage. They can do a special rate refinance. It's a really great deal. So again, if you have outstanding student loans just hanging over your head and you do have equity built up in your home, call Alabama Home Mortgage at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. More news and views in the afternoon. Well, right after this.
Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. We have enjoyed a really nice string of days with some comfortable temperatures, but big weekend changes on the way. Tonight, if you have evening plans, we are dry right on through at least midnight, if not later. There could be a few spotty showers late tonight and first half of the day on Saturday, but the rain probabilities are small. Low tonight, mid to upper 40s. Saturday's high only 54 and quite breezy. What a big change. We'll be down to freezing on Saturday night. Sunday's high only in the low to mid 50s, upper 20s perhaps on Sunday night, then a little rebound on President's Day Monday, high 62. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. We can't say thank you enough to every one of you who have made Capital Tractor one of the largest Kubota dealers in the U.S. It's because of you. We're honored, we're humbled, we're grateful. Kubota and Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
Conservative Justice Sarah Stewart has the experience to lead Alabama's courts. As a tough-on-crime judge, Sarah Stewart presided over hundreds of cases, giving tough sentences to the worst criminals. Republicans can trust Justice Sarah Stewart to defend the Constitution and protect our families. On March 5th, vote conservative Republican Sarah Stewart for Alabama Chief Justice. Paid for by Sarah Stewart Campaign, 2029B, Airport Boulevard, Mobile, Alabama, 36606.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money?
Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest.
You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist?
That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
I see.
Yes, he is our preferred money man.
The money man with the money plan.
You've been paying attention.
Well, could you give us those numbers one more time?
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not an elk.
Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you?
Knights of Columbus.
I am not even going to make a comment.
Well, the baby liked it.
Hello, Alabama. This is your all-time favorite president, Donald J. Trump. My friend, Congressman Gary Palmer, is running for re-election to Alabama's 6th Congressional District. Gary is an America First conservative who is fighting to secure our border, strengthen our military, and protect and defend our undersea Second Amendment. Alabama, please get out and vote for Gary Palmer for Congress on March 5th. He will not let you down. Thank you.
I'm Gary Palmer, and I approve this message.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. And I'm Joey. Been flying solo today, but I appreciate all the calls. Been a busy show in terms of the caller volume. Really do appreciate it, folks. And now on the phone line, we have Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. How you doing this afternoon, Michael?
Hey, Joey. I'm doing great.
Well, good to hear. There's all sorts of ugly bugs going around people keep catching, so I pray you haven't had to deal with any of that.
No, I've got one of those noses that has sinus issues for about 363 days a year.
So you just live with it. I was just talking about how people adapt to whatever.
It's a constant.
That's fair. So let's talk about how everything is shifting to streaming now. And, if folks are looking to really get into that world that's growing around the streaming, how can you help them out there at Cohen's?
Well, I think what a lot of people need is they need some education on the streaming, on all these different services. And, the cable companies have tried to get out of the cable business and are pushing to YouTube TV, which seems to be a good unit, a good way to go. But we're going to start offering the direct TV called Direct Stream. And to me, the cool part about what Direct Stream offers that these other companies do not offer is they offer a dongle that plugs into your television that gives you that capability, but it also gives you a real remote control that actually has numbers. So you can actually go direct access to Fox News, to ESPN, to WSFA. You can go direct access without having to scroll up, down, left, right. And it's just far less cumbersome to operate.
And so this is called Direct Stream?
Direct Stream.
Okay.
Which is Direct TV's version of streaming.
Okay.
But the coolest part is that you get a remote with direct access, direct key access.
Yeah, so you don't have to relearn everything. So, I'm fine. I'm used to now just using my phone, casting and all that sort of stuff. But right. I know others are used to their cable providers and having that ability, and they remember their channels. So that's really cool that DirecTV, or now Direct Stream's going to keep that going, and they can be set up with that there at Cohen's with y'all.
Well, yeah, in the future we'll have it. We hope to have it within the next week or so.
Awesome.
But that to me will be the coolest way to do your streaming, and there are a lot of people that do casting, but I would like to think that if you got it directly from your television, you probably get a better picture than casting it from your phone.
I think you're right on that, actually.
Yeah.
And so, folks, you can always go to thinkcohens.com and see all the great things they have to offer there, Cohen's, but you got to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard, because you can have conversations like this. They can help you navigate this ever-changing world in entertainment, all go into streaming, and that's really cool. That's online next week. Really cool offer they're offering there at Cohen's. And y'all are open 9 to 6 today. What about tomorrow, Saturday?
And 9 to 4 tomorrow, and we'll be open Monday for President's Day. Monday we'll also have some nice deals on some appliances and some packages on the appliance side, as well as some TV deals, TV sales.
Well, I appreciate the time as always. I'll be on there Monday as well, so I'll be giving you a call. I appreciate you, Michael.
Well, maybe you'll have some help then.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Take care.
Again, folks, that's Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Be sure to tell him you heard Michael here on the show, on the radio show with Joey. Final hour on a Friday coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside. With SRN News, I'm John Scott.
President Biden, along with other world leaders, blaming Russian President Putin for the death of Putin's key political challenger, Alexei Navalny. 2 juveniles charged with crimes connected to the mass shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl rally. The juveniles being detained in the county's juvenile detention center on gun-related and resisting arrest charges. It's anticipated that additional charges are expected in the future. New Hampshire lawmakers approving Republican Governor Chris Sununu's request to send 15 National Guard volunteers to the Texas border with Mexico. Sununu called fentanyl the state's most serious health crisis. The Dow is ahead 33 points now, but the Nasdaq is 8 points in the red. This is SRN News.
The new FedNow system is paving the way for the digital dollar. It grants the government unprecedented access to your financial transactions. This isn't just an invasion of privacy. It's a direct assault on your liberty and hard-earned money. It's another reason why I recommend physical gold IRAs from the Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst and a podcaster with nearly 25 million downloads to people just like you who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Big Brother while also preserving your retirement savings through almost anything, including economic crashes, political instability, and even hyperinflation. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text FAITH to 989898. And remember, there's no strings attached. Text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you're blessed with continued prosperity.
The Johnny Adams Law Firm, proud sponsor of the Rich Thomas Weather Network. You can't control the weather, but you can control your drive. Be aware of your surroundings in any weather. Be a defensive driver. Your family and friends will thank you. From the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
Well, hi, everybody. We have enjoyed a really nice string of days with some comfortable temperatures, but big weekend changes on the way. Tonight, if you have evening plans, we are dry right on through at least midnight, if not later. There could be a few spotty showers late tonight and first half of the day on Saturday, but the rain probabilities are small. Low tonight, mid to upper 40s. Saturday's high only 54 and quite breezy. What a big change. We'll be down to freezing on Saturday night. Sunday's high only in the low to mid 50s. Upper 20s perhaps on Sunday night. Then a little rebound on President's Day Monday, high 62. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you once again for voting ASE the best credit union and best mortgage company in Central Alabama's Reader's Choice Awards. We're honored to serve our members for 69 years and counting. ASE Credit Union, your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
The House Judiciary Committee has unanimously voted to move the Sound of Freedom Act forward within the Alabama House. HB 42 is a bill that is sponsored by Donna Givens. It increases the penalties for those convicted of human trafficking of a minor. The bill would make it a minimum sentence of life in prison. Givens named the bill after the 2023 movie Sound of Freedom, which is a true-to-life story of an agent within the Department of Homeland Security, Tim Ballard, who started operations to save children from international sex trafficking rings. Givens says if this bill is passed into law in Alabama, it will become the toughest law throughout the nation against human trafficking of minors. Former U.S. Navy SEAL Jared Hudson started Covenant Rescue Group here in Alabama, which seeks to prevent and stop human trafficking. Hudson is in full support of this piece of legislation, and Governor Ivey also says she's proud to support this bill. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A new bill has been filed within the Alabama legislative session that would require the national anthem to be played, sung, or recited at least once a week in all public schools. The bill is being sponsored by State Senator Gerald Allen. Allen wrote in the legislation that it's imperative that students have exposure to the history of the national anthem and to patriotic inspiration. Temperatures throughout Alabama are currently pretty mild, but come this weekend on Saturday night, Arctic weather will move in, dropping things down to the 20s and 30s. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
I'm Republican Jacqueline Tomlinson. You've heard me here on the Greg Budell Show quite a bit over the years. Running for office is the last thing I thought I'd do, but when your community calls, you answer. With more than 15 years of family law experience, I've helped local families through some of their toughest times. And so, I'm asking for your vote in the Republican primary on Tuesday, March 5th for Circuit Judge.
Vote for my mommy!
Paid for by the Tomlinson Campaign, P.O. Box 821, Wetumpka, Alabama, 36092.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hold on to your butt.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
I'm also very much of a germaphobe, by the way.
Got worms.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. Thank you for all the love today, folks. I needed it. Diet Spam saying, I want my talk radio reparations. Huh? Ernest, I know who this is. How you doing, Ernest? He says, Joey, you were sipping that tea last week. What tea? I say a lot of things, guys. I need more specifics. But appreciate all the comments on the live stream. We are now live streaming the show. Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe. And now when we have big interviews, we're also cutting those, and you can go watch interviews back and actually see people's reactions on their faces. It really helps with how you understand if somebody's believable or not, what they're trying to sell here on these airwaves. But let's go to Duke on line one. Hey, Duke, how you doing?
How's it going, brother man?
Oh, just surviving.
All right, just holding it in the road.
Yeah.
What's her name? Penny. The last caller.
Yeah, Penny was one of the callers, yes.
Yeah, I like her call, man. She's smooth, man. I like her. I like all the callers, but she nailed it though. You know, just really calm down, people. It's gonna be okay. You know, what's it?
Hold on, Duke. We have break.
Remember 1999?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, and it's nothing you said. Breaking news. Trump was now, just it came down, found liable for $354.9 million. And the judge has also banned Trump from applying for loans for 3 years. Holy crap. This is the civil lawsuit against the Trumpet Organization. Again, just shy of $355 million fine and a ban on loans. Wow.
This ain't the one dealing with the street walking, is it? What's that girl name? The Daniel girl. It's not that.
No. It's not Stormy Daniels. This is the one they're claiming that he overvalued properties. This is the one being brought by the AG of New York.
I don't know what the hell. I don't lose account what the hell is what now. I don't know all this stuff kind of coming all together. So, anyhow, boy, that's a nice little piece of change right there. I'd like to have me at least one of them. One of those million. Boy. Anyhow, though, boy, I guess.
Yeah, anyway, that's big breaking news.
We have a moment of silent prayer for that right there?
No, we're going to move on. I just wanted to say everybody was waiting. I just wanted to announce that.
Okay. You got awfully quiet, that dude. I thought you ain't tearing up over there, are you? Choking up, are you carrying on? Okay.
No, not over that.
But all these people, like 1999 came in. Everybody tried to die, didn't they, Joey? What's up with that? I mean, other states, Florida and Georgia and some of the other states, been gambling for years and 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 years, folks. Yeah, I don't see all this stuff when I visit these states that you guys see. I mean, my grandmama had a saying, you can't raise grown folks. Can you raise grown folks, Joey?
Well, it's kind of tough once they're set in their ways.
I mean, even young folks, you can't raise it to a certain extent. If this girl wants to slip around this little boy, she's gonna slip around this little boy. Whether you like it or not, parent. But so anything people choose to do in life, they're gonna do it if they want to. Okay. So I don't want people from the church. I don't want people from no organization telling me what I can and cannot do. Okay? In one breath, you tell me to stop doing this, and you tell me to stop doing that on that side. Nah. But then in that same breath, you tell me, freedom. I want my freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hell, I want my truth. So, I don't gamble that much, but, ain't nothing to do with Montgomery, for one. I used to like to go out dancing every once in a while, but here all the young folks have got that shut down. So I go out there, gamble $20 or pay my little 50 cent, play my little 50 cent or whatever. I'm happy. I sit by. I say these two guys that lost $700, and they beating the machines and all that. I'm feeling sorry for them in a way, but hell, they didn't make him put that money in that machine, did they?
No, they didn't.
Okay. Same thing with drinking. They didn't make you go in the liquor store and get that bottle and go out and kill somebody drinking and driving. And the state providing all this stuff and people complaining about it. Just one little thing, gambling. Alcohol been sold in the state of Alabama how many years, Joey, since you've been born? Before you was born, or me and you both been born, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
No, that's true. It's also a big power grab, too. Let's not kid ourselves.
All of it. All of power grabbing. I mean,
no, it's not just a freedom question. Whoever ends up on that gaming commission, whoever ends up with those licenses, and even if they do have bans against you giving campaign donations or super PACs money, well, as we've been learning this week, you can get things in cash, and it has a way of talking.
You know what I might do tonight, though? Just for the hell of it. Go down there, don't go in one of these fine establishments to gamble. Just wear me a T-shirt, make me a T-shirt and go up in there and say, let's put gambling on the ballot. See how long these people let me stay up in there. I said, put gambling on the ballot. I'll say something about letting everybody gamble. Let everybody get a chance at open their own casino in Montgomery. You think they let me stay in that place?
You in particular?
Anybody walking there with a shirt in there saying that everybody should be allowed to vote on gambling in the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
You think some of those big shots wouldn't put your ass out of there? I heard that people have been put out of the places before because talking about other places here in like Victoryland and stuff like that. Some of the tenants heard somebody say something about Victoryland. Hey, they put the people out of the place, Joey.
Well, yeah, well, that can happen. No, we'll see. Everybody's getting, I think, ahead of themselves. I don't think this passes the Senate. We can argue about the virtues of freedom or the downsides of a gambling industry in the state for all sorts of reasons, but the practical thing right in front of us is the Alabama Senate has to decide whether they want to take this up. It's very clear Governor Ivey would sign it if they passed it, but I think it's an uphill battle.
So the reason I made that little comment in a sarcastic kind of way, hell, we've been gambling for years in the state of Alabama. Hell, they built, they started out with a trailer. Now they started out with one in Atmore first, a gambling place. They started out with one. Now the next one, Dozier Road had a little trailer down there for a little while. They built that big nice one up there in week 2. So we've been gambling people, damn it, for a while now. So
well, Duke, you're getting people excited on the live stream. Romex Angler saying Duke blames the young folks like they were no fights when he visited the clubs. Nice try, Duke.
Y'all supposed to get everything shut down. Y'all know y'all got everything shut down. You can't go down the bypass now. You got 50 cars in the parking lot, and nobody inside the club no more now.
Well, I've got another guy. He called in earlier. He's Dirty Water Jones asking, does this guy hate white people?
Huh? Oh, do I hate white people?
Yeah.
I love you. I love everybody. I'm going to talk about you now. I'm going to talk about you. Everybody is scared to talk about y'all. Hell yeah, I'm going to talk about you.
I wish more people would talk, honestly. Well, actually...
Y'all talk about us all the time. Y'all talk about the black in them all the time.
Yeah, some people do.
Every time somebody shoots somebody in Montgomery.
Yeah.
Oh, there they go again. Who the hell is they?
Young black men, Duke. And it's just true. But that's what's so dumb about all this crap. It's so dumb. It's like if you bring up a problem, you've indicted all black people. You've indicted all white people. You indicted all women when he calls that whore a whore. Like it's just ridiculous. Like you people can't think for yourselves. Anyway, I got another person. I think we're going through a tunnel.
For a little while, boy. How about that?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm losing contact here. I'll talk to you later. 272-9228. What a mess. What an absolute mess. Again, 272-9228. Heck, Duke. Sometimes, man, it's a little much. It's a little much. Well, I love you, brother. This part of the program, again, brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And, testosterone. It is crucial to your health as a man. A lot of guys don't know it. So if you're walking around feeling, tired all the livelong day, lacking energy, motivation, seeing unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and you're going to the gym, you're even seeing a decrease in your sex drive, maybe you feel like you're walking through life in a fog, well, as we mature as fellas, 2 things can start to happen. Erectile dysfunction, of course, is still a real issue, but also low testosterone. And, knowing whether you have low T is huge in combating some of these issues of languor and being tired all the live long day. And there are a lot of guys walking around, even young guys at the age of like 18, 19, 20, who are suffering from these symptoms and they just don't know they have low T. But low T affects quality of life big time. So the providers at Montgomery Men's Health will conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And Montgomery Men's Health has low T treatments that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido. You can actually book the same day that you call. Guys, it's time to feel amazing and hit your goals this year. Give them a call, 440-3663. Again, that number for Montgomery Men's Health, 440-3663. Or go to montgomerymenshealth.com to book your appointment today. And be sure to tell them that you heard about them here from that Joey fella on the radio. More news and views after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hello, Alabama. This is your all-time favorite president, Donald J. Trump. My friend, Congressman Gary Palmer, is running for re-election to Alabama's 6th Congressional District. Gary is an America First conservative who is fighting to secure our border, strengthen our military, and protect and defend our undersea Second Amendment. Alabama, please get out and vote for Gary Palmer for Congress on March 5th. He will not let you down. Thank you.
I'm Gary Palmer, and I approve this message.
Conservative Justice Sarah Stewart has the experience to lead Alabama's courts. As a tough-on-crime judge, Sarah Stewart presided over hundreds of cases, giving tough sentences to the worst criminals. Republicans can trust Justice Sarah Stewart to defend the Constitution and protect our families. On March 5th, vote conservative Republican Sarah Stewart for Alabama Chief Justice. Paid for by Sarah Stewart Campaign, 2029B, Airport Boulevard, Mobile, Alabama, 36606.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the show. And yes, it is true. I'm reading directly from the New York Times. This is going to be appealed, but here's the headline. Trump ordered to pay $355 million and barred from New York business. The judge's ruling in Donald J. Trump's civil fraud case could cost him all his available cash. All available cash reserves. It also bars the former president from running a business in the state of New York for 3 years. The decision by Justice Arthur Engoron caps a chaotic years-long case in which New York's Attorney General put Mr. Trump's fantastical claims of wealth on trial. I think this is just bullcrap. Absolute bullcrap, honestly. Like, y'all go ahead. Making a mockery. You can complain all you want about Putin killing people that probably was working with our intelligence services. But y'all have pulled out every single frickin' stop, for you organists out there, to take down the Cheeto Mussolini or, the second coming of Hitler or whatever y'all want to call him. But with no jury, the power was in this jackass's hands alone, and he came down hard. The judge delivered a sweeping array of punishments that threatens the former president's business empire as he simultaneously contends with 4 other criminal prosecutions to seek to regain the White House. Not only did Justice Engoron impose a 3-year ban preventing Trump from serving in top roles at any New York company, including his own, but the judge also applied that punishment to the former president's adult sons for 2 years in order that they pay more than $4 million each. One of the sons, Eric Trump, is the Trump Organization's de facto chief executive, and the ruling throws into doubt whether any member of the family can run the business in the near term. Mr. Trump will appeal the penalty, which could climb to $400 million or more once interest is added, but will have to either come up with the money or secure a bond within 30 days. The ruling will not render him bankrupt because most of his wealth is tied up in real estate. Mr. Trump will also likely ask an appeals court to halt the restrictions on him and his sons from running the company while it considers the case. there might be a little Trump can do to thwart one of the judge's most consequential punishments, extending for 3 years the appointment of an independent monitor who will be the court's eyes and ears at the Trump Organization, watching for fraud and second-guessing transactions that look suspicious. Mr. Trump's lawyers have railed against the monitor, Barbara Jones, saying that her work has already cost the business more than $2.5 million. The decision to extend her oversight of the privately held family company could enrage the Trumps, who see her presence as an irritant and an insult. Wow. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, brother. I just wanted, before everybody started calling in with the Trump stuff, because I know a lot of people have got stuff on the heart they want to say, and I don't really want. I don't want to tell you, man. The start of the show, that'd be my ringtone from now on. I'm cutting that whole first 15 to 17 minutes out, bro. Thank you, man. We need that every now and then. You know what I mean? You know that's the part I love about your show anyway. And thank you for that.
Well, thank you for saying that, Randall. Really.
Yeah.
Come from the heart.
Yes, sir. I want to get out of everybody's way and let them get on the Trump stuff, man. It was awesome at first, man. I'm glad everybody called and filled the day up. And but added brains of laughter. I ain't taking nothing from the man. But I'm in study mode right now, and coming from the heart like you do makes you want to study even harder, because you know why we doing this stuff for. And you know what I mean? There's humans out here that really hurt and need healing. But all right, bro, I'm gonna go out here and let them call and trump it up, and see you Monday.
Appreciate you, Rand.
All right, bro.
Now back to the story here. Again, for those who weren't paying attention, because there are so many of these things, but the Attorney General, Letitia James, had sought those consequences and more, all those penalties we just laid out, asking for Mr. Trump to be permanently barred from New York's business world. In the 2022 lawsuit that precipitated the trial, she accused Trump of inflating his net worth to obtain favorable treatment from banks and other lenders, attacking the foundation of his public persona as a billionaire businessman. Even though the lenders made money from Mr. Trump, they were the purported victims in the case, with Ms. James arguing that absent his fraud, they could have made even more. How about the entire government as a fraud? Y'all constantly change the rules, break the rules, and you get to do things that nobody else in polite society is allowed to do. And now you continue to expand your power. This is not the rule of law. Especially when the actual goal here has nothing to do with finding the fraud in the Trump Organization. It has everything to do from hurting this guy because you don't want him running the country, because he's serious about what he says and he's tired, just like so many of his supporters are tired, and people who aren't even really his supporters who are just tired of y'all's tyranny. Tired of all your excuses. Tired of you playing fast and loose with the American people's lives and livelihoods. If you're going to continue down this road, you're going to get the frickin' wrecking ball that you deserve. If I could calm down for a second, the wrecking ball might hit long before anything with the election. And I hope it does. I probably shouldn't get my hopes up. I probably shouldn't get my hopes up at all. But there is a case that could, well, destroy everything. That's what makes me not want to get my hopes up. But it's a Supreme Court case that could permanently break the government. Liberals have a chance to stop them. This is from the New Republic. The administrative state is squarely in the high court's crosshairs, but public pressure has successfully kept the justices from going over the brink before, and it might work again. Public pressure, huh? So it's not about the wisdom of the justices or what the law says, because lawyers can make the law say frickin' anything. And they all know it. It's a big game of chicken. But on January the 17th, the Supreme Court hosted oral arguments in Loper Bright Enterprises v. Raimondo, which, while over a hyper-technical legal issue, lasted more than 3 hours, drawing wide coverage from mainstream media. At issue was whether the court should overturn what's become known as Chevron deference. Established as a precedent in a 1984 decision, Chevron v. NRDC, Chevron deference requires federal courts to defer to, that is, accept without attempting their own interpretation, quote-unquote, reasonable executive agency interpretations of governing statutes. The consensus following the oral arguments held that the justices did seem likely to abolish Chevron. Liberals reacted to this prospect in near-apocalyptic horror, typified by the Center for American Progress, which put out a statement saying that, quote, completely doing away with Chevron deference will be existentially threatening. Indeed, the argument seemed to indicate that at least 3 of the right-wing bloc, Justices Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch, and quite possibly as many as all of the remaining 3, Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Chief Justice John Roberts, could wind up doing just that. Now, we'll see what Barrett, Roberts, and Kavanaugh actually come down with. Regardless, liberals should not simply throw up their hands in their despair, says the New Republic, cowering in their foxholes as they wait for the decision to drop. Instead, a closer look at what the individual justices said in the argument and irrelevant past pronouncements is warranted. The better to peel back the hyperbolic rhetoric on both sides and surgically identify what's really at stake. Above all, liberals need to act to hone and execute messaging strategies that strip away the legalese, maximize prospects for the best possible outcome in the pending case, or at least minimize the worst. Whether or not the court overturns Chevron or offers some more narrow nip and tuck to the doctrine, the question that will matter is what specific instructions will the decision lay down for judges to calibrate agencies, flexibility in implementing statutory mandates. If the court instructs the broadly worded statutes must be read accordingly to continue granting agencies broad discretion to decide how to interpret instructions from Congress, then the impact could be much less than anti-regulatory zealots hope and liberals fear. Well, call me an anti-regulatory zealot. The administrative state, whether we're talking domestic policy or foreign policy, it is unconstitutional. And if we're going to sit here and pretend that the Constitution is the law of the land, then it needs to be enforced. And the people that you elect to run the government should actually run the government. Not unelected, unknown, unnamed bureaucrats who are by the millions, who have powers to overthrow presidents, powers to ignore presidents. It's just another example of how this government's gotten out of control. Oh, it's the system we like. It's a system we love. Okay, fine. Let's at least admit somebody, anybody in so-called mainstream circles admit that y'all are full of crap. We do not have a constitutional republic. We don't even have a democracy. We have y'all running the show. And you let the people pretend like they have a say after you constantly lie and manipulate them with propaganda every few years when elections come around. But you know they don't know what they're doing. But you continue to manipulate them and blow smoke up their backside all the same. So the lawfare continues to heat up. Fine. And say they take out Trump. Fine. We don't believe you. We're not forgiving you. And this is not the start of a conversation. Oh, that's divisive. That's going to start a war. I ain't starting a war. Are you? Because that's what it ends up being when you rely more and more on the powers of government, when you rely more and more on politics to define how your society must run. You're going to get more division. And God forbid it goes to anywhere else worse. So cheer, if you're on the left, cheer till the cows come home that, yeah, we got the bad man to have to pay up. But continue to use these tactics. There's a lot of people, especially a younger generation, that are seeing through your operations. 272-9228. Actually, please don't call. I need to take a breath. We'll be right back. Bah humbug.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Come see how you can drive a new Lexus from Lexus of Montgomery today. Get to the luxury event 4 years in the making. The Leap Year Lexus Savings Event. This month only, buy a new Lexus and leap past your payments till May. Drive true luxury in the 2024 Lexus RX. Now $499 a month. You can drive a new Lexus today. Visit Lexus of Montgomery, part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
With approved credit number RC02C205, 36 months, 10,000 miles, with $3,499 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock fee.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Hi, this is Carol Kennedy with Camo Country, and we've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for many years, and we appreciate Blue Water Broadcasting helping promote Camo Country.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. We have enjoyed a really nice string of days with some comfortable temperatures, but big weekend changes on the way. Tonight, if you have evening plans, we are dry right on through at least midnight, if not later. There could be a few spotty showers late tonight and first half of the day on Saturday, but the rain probabilities are small. Low tonight, mid to upper 40s. Saturday's high only 54 and quite breezy. What a big change. We'll be down to freezing on Saturday night. Sunday's high only in the low to mid 50s. Upper 20s perhaps on Sunday night. Then a little rebound on President's Day Monday, high 62. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply for your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Just looking at a picture of this judge in this case. An ugly SOB. Let's go to Nancy. Hey, Nancy.
Hi there. How are you today?
I'm actually fine, but as I started the show, the news sucks. But how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing all right. I'm like you. I get tired of them picking on Trump so much. You know, like I said, the man has done more for this country than a lot of the presidents in the past. And to me, he hasn't done anything any different that most business people do. I was in business for years, and when you go to apply for a loan for whatever reason that you want, and usually it's a business loan, certainly you're going to use every means possible and use your assets as being part of your background for your loan. So, yeah, you may inflate what your actual
what its actual value is,
what the actual value is, but that's every business person does that.
Well, especially because things like a massive real estate property, the value at the end of the day is subjective, and it's whatever the market will bear. This is the same judge who said Mar-a-Lago was worth like $18 million. It's a joke.
Right, exactly. Whatever somebody is willing to pay for something is what something is worth. So if you've got one person that's willing to pay you $18 million for something, another person might be willing to pay you $20 million for something. So, like you said, the value of something is, who knows what it's worth until somebody offers you an amount of money for it. So you can say whatever you want to as to how much something's worth or how much you're going to ask for it. I have sold real estate property in the past, and people say, especially in Kentucky, people tell me, you never get that for what you're asking. And I said, you people don't realize what your property's worth. And I said, if I don't sell it at that price, I simply won't sell it. And the first person that came along was willing to pay me what I was asking for that property. So it's all in what people are willing to pay for something. Other than that, I think people have actually lost their minds when it comes to not realizing what kind of a shape we're getting ourselves into. Not we, but the politicians that have lost their minds. We're going into a communist regime, and it scares the heck out of me. And it's like people don't see it, and I don't understand why they can't see it.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I personally would call it communism, but it's some form of tyranny that's technocratic, like you get all these technologies that now can control people. And there's a very much clearly a caste system of those in charge and those who are not. And it's ugly. And it certainly doesn't resemble the government laid out in the Constitution we pretend to still follow. It's depressing. It's what gets me down often. I think the beautiful thing, though, Nancy, is that you're not alone. I'm not alone. And there are a lot of people who probably didn't even vote for Trump the last two times who are starting to see this going, this is ridiculous. This is over the top. And in a way, these heavy-handed actions sort of drop the mask and let people see, oh, that's who we're actually dealing with. I didn't see it before. So we'll see what happens. I think the end of the day, the true jury here on all this stuff will be the American people in November.
Well, the truth of the matter is, when Trump first started running for president, I told my husband, I said, all right, we got a businessman finally running for the president. I said, we need a business person in that office. I voted for him. My husband did not vote for him in the primaries. I did. But when it came around to when you actually voted for president, my husband did vote for Trump. And personally, I think the man did a good job for what he had to work with and who he had to work with. So,
well,
and I think we'd be better off if there were more business people that know, because the government needs to be run like a business too. You know what I'm saying? You can't just keep borrowing money and borrowing money and borrowing money with no means to pay it back.
And we essentially need a wartime CEO, somebody that knows how to build big things from scratch or knock down things that deserve to be knocked down. We don't need what we've had, I think, for ages now, a bunch of managers that can manage an issue, but they never solve anything and they lack vision. And that seems to be what we've been bedeviled by. I appreciate the call, Nancy. I got to run here.
All righty.
272-9228 if y'all want to try to hop in before the end of the show. First, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And there at Pest Pro Services, well, Ashley and her team are ready to help you out. And by help you out, here's one thing they can do in particular. You know, all this rain we've had recently, all that moisture that's soaked into the ground, well, termites love it. Termites love moisture. They like it when it's wet. And if you ask Pest Pro Services when you call them at 265-9990, say, hey, I was listening to that Joey guy on the radio, and he told me that y'all are doing a free termite inspection. And they'll say, yes, we are. And they're doing a free termite estimate if you're already seeing issues that need to be taken care of. And you might as well go ahead and get this done, because homeowners insurance doesn't cover termite treatment or damage. It's okay. Pest Pro is here to protect your most costly investment, your home. They're the only company in the river region with a Termidor HP2 injection unit, and they bring the very best and newest technology to your home to fight those termites off. You might as well get the treatment done before you have any actual damage to your property. Call Pest Pro Services today. That's 265-9990, 265-9990, or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell them that, well, Joey from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. Actually, I think I could fit one other person in here. Hey, who's this? You're on there.
This is Dirty Water.
Hey, man, we really only do one call a day, so make it quick.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say that I lost my train of thought. Okay. Thanks for the chance. Love you guys.
Talk to you next week. Thanks, man. 272-9228 if you want to try to get your shot in. We'll be right back after this break, hopefully with Ray Bowles of Prattville Carpet.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
For 65 years, Guardian Credit Union has been your trusted financial partner. And now we're proud to extend that trust further by introducing Guardian Insurance Services. Whether protecting your home, car, or even your business, we've got the coverage that fits your needs. Our team is here to guide you every step of the way with the personalized service you know and love. Call 334-819-7555 for a free quote today. Guardian Insurance Services, building on 65 years of trust, now safeguarding your future.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final segment here of the program. First, let's go to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm over here in Auburn, Alabama, just measuring the floor up for some new carpet for some friends of ours that live in the loveliest plains. I love coming over here. The way back's going to be a nightmare. looked like somebody hit a bridge or something, and everything was a parking lot.
But no, you're right. I miss living in Auburn just for the beauty of it.
It's just such a lovely town. I mean, it's the second greatest town in Alabama.
Wait,
Primal's got to be the number one.
Okay, yeah, I forgot.
So I was born and raised there.
Yeah, right.
Come on, it's in the middle, right?
I forgot you're a homer. I get it.
I know. You know what it is. You try to leave a couple times, and anywhere you go, it's just not like home. You always go home. I just don't understand Ron moving to Alaska.
Yeah,
that one's still scratching my head. I was talking to him today, and it's like -2, and it was going to warm up to 28 by the end of the week, or like first of the week, and all the ice roads are shutting down. So he said it's a hot mess up there right now.
Go. Yeah, I don't want to. I'd like to visit Alaska, but I don't think living up there is in the cards.
I enjoy visiting. It'll be a while before I go back. I love Ron. He's got to come see me. I'm not going back. It's just too long of a flight. I'm too old.
So you'll go the extra mile, but not that far.
Not that far. Yeah, if you're listening to Alaska, you have to find somebody up there to do it. If you're listening in Auburn, anywhere within 100, 200 miles of us, we would be more than happy to come and measure the floors free of charge. Give you a price. Next thing you know, you got a new floor. Just that simple.
And that number's still 285-8117?
It is. And, hey, we're open Monday for, what is it, President's Day or something?
Yeah, I think it is President's Day. I'm assuming it's just like a normal day. And don't we talk about those guys enough anyway?
That's right. Absolutely. So, well, if y'all are out in town and you need to stop by, everybody's at the store except for me because I'm over here, and we'd be glad to give you all a free estimate.
Again, that number 285-8117, and be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey. Appreciate you, Ray.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Let's go to John C. Hey, John, how you doing?
Hey, Joey, how are you today?
I'm all right. A little volatile, I'll put it that way.
Well, that makes two of us, and I would just like to maybe say some things that you can't or won't.
All right.
Concerning this verdict. You know, having owned many businesses in my life, whenever, just like your previous caller stated, you know, you can go to the bank, you can say it's worth A, B, or C. They hire people to go out and appraise your business and put a value on that.
Right.
So regardless of what you may think it's worth, the bank is going to tell you what they think it's worth, and that's all they're going to give you credit for. With that in mind, there is no judge I've ever seen, including this moron up there in New York, that has about as much business acumen as a 6-year-old. So, you know, this will be appealed, and every business owner in this country should be going berserk today over this.
Amen. And it's, you know, just beyond that, it's like all these cases rolled into one. It's like the death of the republic before our eyes. And that's what I think has me so worked up. This is what we're doing here in 2024. We all better buckle up. And I appreciate your point of view on this, because no, I've never been an outright business owner, so I wouldn't have that personal experience. Sound like you do have that experience, John.
Well, I do, but furthermore, all these cases against Trump, you know, Georgia is being made out to be the laughing stock of the country, and quite frankly, at the end of the day, when you see our government make their votes up there, I mean, we have a uniparty. We don't have a divided party anymore, and that's the problem we're dealing with today.
Exactly right, and I just hope more folks from all walks of life start and continue to wake up to that fact.
Amen to that, Joey.
Thank you, John. Really appreciate the call, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
So we've got about 5 minutes left in the show. Well, we learned that they are who we thought they were. But we did learn today that Putin critic Alexei Navalny dies in prison. There's a lot of noise being made from American politicians about this, including the president himself. Again, Putin is who you think he is, folks. But are you really surprised that Putin would jail and kill a political opponent? What type of what? I'm not saying I know this for a fact, but did Alexei Navalny ever try to take money or work with, say, the CIA or MI6? Because if he did, and he got caught, I don't think it's just what has happened to this man who's now dead. It's not just. at all. It's also not surprising. It's something that continues to make me shake my head. We go all over the world and we foment revolution in the name of our ideals, and we seem to be losing our ideals in the process and end up making some pretty dumb decisions on a practical basis. But, you know, we, and I'm using we loosely, are so rich we can kind of get away with all these mistakes. Let's just hope war doesn't actually visit our own backyard. Because the amount of war making done by the United States government all over the world and the amount of covert actions done by the United States government all over the world has not made us a lot of friends. Now, you probably shouldn't expect Putin or President Xi of China or any of these folks to really be your close friend. It's a completely different country, different nation, different culture. But the fact that Russian politics, that the Russian dictator is such a centerpiece of American politics is not a sign of a healthy politics on our part. Been saying this for years now. A truth that's told with bad intent beats all the lies you can invent. And it works particularly well, truths told with bad intent, on a population that doesn't even know what truth is anymore, and political leaders that play fast and loose with the truth. And that's how I think the Russians, despite being much poorer, much less savvy, except with like hypersonic missiles, than the United States, continue to play us. Play us like a fiddle. It's a shame that man died in prison. It's also not surprising. If you go to, say, a dictator's country and you try to support a opposition leader with covert means, this might happen. It's a crying shame. 272-9228. The point that folks, especially in the America First movement, folks I know within libertarian circles are making is that we need to get our own house in order. Stop going abroad, tramping around the world looking for monsters to slay. John Quincy Adams warned of this. Why would it be a problem? Because we could be the dictatress of the world, and we will not actually stand for liberty in order to achieve that sort of thing. And we're seeing the rotten fruits of that sad prediction by John Quincy Adams more and more. Hopefully, there will be a course correction. I'm looking forward to next week. We're going to be having, of course, more local candidates stopping by. Monday at 1 o'clock our time. Really looking forward to talking to my favorite historian, Arthur Herman. Brilliant man. Go read his books, folks, whether you're talking about the book that will mostly be centered on Freedom's Forge. It's about how the United States mobilized for World War II, and they used the ingenuity and entrepreneurship of American private business to do it. But I think my favorite book of his is The Cave in the Light. It's a view of the history of thought through the lens of Aristotle versus Plato. Brilliant book. He's got another one that was a Pulitzer finalist, Gandhi and Churchill. Arthur Herman is just a brilliant mind, and he's a great guy to talk to. We're going to talk about getting America's house in order. And we're going to talk about how do we actually set things right, get a better footing as we face challenges going further into the 21st century. Hey, let's try to get one last call in before happy hour starts. Hey, how you doing? Who's this?
Good, just John.
Hey, John.
You know, the news is telling us about Putin because he's so bad because they're just trying to keep us off what we're doing the same stuff. It ain't no different. Been doing it for years. You know, other countries report what bad stuff we do, so nobody will think that they're doing anything bad, and they do the same thing over here.
But, John, the CIA only does bad things 30 years in hindsight. They're not. That was 30 years ago. We're not doing it now. We promise.
So, okay.
Yeah, you see what I mean? They'll cop to things, that are decades old and pretend like they've improved.
We go into other countries because we don't like who's running them or what they're doing.
Right.
And so we're no different. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just different atmosphere.
Yep.
I mean, look at politicians. Somebody rats on a politician, next thing you know, they've disappeared.
Yep.
So, I mean, we like you said, we gotta on us get our stuff together before we go over and try to tell someone else what to do.
Amen, John. Amen. I appreciate the call, man.
Okay. Thanks.
Well, and I got to get out of here. Happy Hour with Greg Budell. Well, he's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.